Hello guys. So today I'm going to talk. Today I'm going to read. Nothing to talk. Today I'm going to read again Materia Medica only. So I'll start from the yesterday till Borax I read Bothrops. From Bothrops I will read again, and let's see. From 9 to 11 I started around 9 8:52. So 11 तक अपने को पढ़ना है, तो आप रेडी हो जाइए और बैठ जाइए हमारे साथ. तो वेलकम वेलकम टू एवरीवन टू दिस लाइव. और ठीक है, हम स्टार्ट करते हैं अपनी स्टडी. तो बोरैक्स बोरैक्स So borax is basically borate of sodium, violent fright from report of a gum, even at distance. Very sensitive to slightest noise, not so much disturbed by louder ones. Gastralgia depending upon uterine disturbance. Pain as if diarrhea would result. Labor pains with frequent eructation. Eczema of toes and fingers with loss of nails. Eyelashes turns inward. Red nose of young woman. Mouth taste bitter. Taste of cellar mold. Borax. Taste of cellar mold. Okay. Galactoria. In nursing pain in opposite breast. Sterility. Yeah. Bothrops, also known as yellow viper. We should expect to find under these remedies the symptomatology of thrombosis, also thrombotic phenomena as hemiplegia, aphasia, inability to articulate. Hemiplegia, aphasia. Diagonal course of symptoms. Hemiplegia with aphasia. Inability to articulate without any affection of the tongue. Okay. Bovista, puffball. Bovista. Bovista is also known as puffball. Stammering. stammering. Stammering also there in stramonium and merxol. Stammering. Stammering. Intolerant of tight clothing around waist. Chronic diarrhea of old people, worse at night and early morning, sorry, early morning. Okay. Acne worse in summer due to use of cosmetic. This is very important. Acne worse in summer due to use of cosmetic. Soreness of pubis during menses, urticaria on excitement with rheumatic lameness on waking in the morning, worse from bathing, colic with red urine by eating, tip of coccyx itches intolerably, moist eczema on back of the hand, edema, edema in joint from fracture, urticaria on waking in the morning, worse from bathing, pellagra. Bovista antidotes tar application, suffocation from gas after rust in chronic urticaria, Bromium. Tendency to infiltrate glands, become hard but seldom suppurate. Delusion that strange person are looking over patient's shoulder and that she would see someone turning. What? Delusion. Delusion that strange persons are looking over patient's shoulder and that she would see someone on turning. Okay. Delusion that strange person are looking over patient's shoulder. Okay. Delusion that strange person are looking over patient's shoulder, Bromium. Dizzy when crossing stream of water, left sided mumps. Bleeding from nose, the chest symptom, tonsil deep red with a network of dilated blood vessels. Better at sea of seafaring man when they come on land. Salt inhibit the action of bromium. Brownia, wild hops. Complaints apt to develop slowly, burning in lower lip in old smokers. Okay. Burning in lower lip, avoid smoke. Soreness in stomach when coughing. Menstrual irregularity with gastric complaints. Coming into warm room excites cough. Complementary upas when brownia fails. Rustox alumina. Swelling of tip of nose feels as if it would ulcerate when touched. Oral vertigo. Oral vertigo. Aurum natrum sal, Silesia and China. Okay. Dyspeptic ailments during summer heat. Intermenstrual pain with great abdominal and pelvic soreness. Hemiplegia. Buforana, Rana tigrina. Poison of the toad. Convulsive seizure during convulsive seizures occur during sleep at night. More or less connected with derangement of sexual sphere, seem to come within the range of this remedy. So more or less connected with the derangement of sexual sphere, seems to come within the range of this remedy. Sensation as if hot vapor rose to top of head. Sensation of heart swimming in water. Wow. Sensation as if heart swimming in water, that is bufo. Stomach swimming in water is abrotanum. Stomach swimming in water is abrotanum. Palliative in cancer of the meme. Better from bathing or cold air from putting feet in hot water. Arouses the lowest passions, causes a desire for intoxicating drink and produces impotence. Cannot be a slight sight or brilliant object. Cannot be a sight or brilliant object. Complementary is salamandra. Salamandra. Okay. Cactus. It is a very good remedy for heart complaints. Cactus grandifolius. Cactus. This important remedy. Acts on acts on circular muscular fiber. Hence, constriction acts on circular muscular fiber. Hence, constriction. It is the heart and artery, especially that ones respond to the influence of cactus, producing very characteristic constriction. Characteristic constriction. Constriction in every part. Constriction. As of iron band. As of iron band. This sensation is found in various places, esophagus, bladder, etc. The mental symptom produced correspond to those found when there are heart affection, sadness and melancholy. Heart affection, sadness plus melancholy. Okay. Headache if obliged to pass dinner hour. Headache if obliged to pass dinner hour. Okay. Right-sided prosoplegia, constricting pain returns to same hour daily. Prosoplegia. Right-sided prosoplegia. देखते हैं prosoplegia क्या है. Right-sided prosoplegia. Prosoplegia, a chronic neurological condition causing sudden severe electric shock like or stabbing pain on one side of the face. Prosoplegia. Okay. Right-sided prosoplegia. Oppressed, oppressed breathing as from a weight on chest. Oppressed breathing as of a weight on chest. Constriction in chest as if bound, hindering respiration. Hindering respiration. Inflammation of diaphragm. Heart constriction. As from an iron band. Angina pectoris. Cactus grandifolius. Palpitations, pain shooting down left arm. Sleeplessness on account of pulsation in different parts of the body. Fever every day at same hour, coldness in back and icy cold hands, intermittent paroxysm about midday 11 a.m. In, incomplete in in their stage is accompanied by hemorrhage, coldness predominates, cold sweat with great anguish. Persistent subnormal temperature, toxic goiter with cardiac symptom, hemorrhages from bowels in malarial fever with heart symptom, endocarditis with mitral insufficiency together with violent and rapid action, tobacco heart, caladium, tobacco heart, also caladium, Ca- cadmium sulfate. Cadmium sulfate. Its pathogenesis gives some symptoms corresponding to very low form of disease, as in cholera, yellow fever, where with exhaustion, vomiting, and extreme prostration, the disease runs deathward. Chilliness and coldness even when near fire. Facial paralysis, more left side. Cadmium sulfate. Cadmium sulfate. Facial paralysis, more left sided. Cajuputum, cajuput oil, sense of enlargement, retrocedent gout, urine smell like cat's urine. Ca- Cajupitum, urine smell like cat urine. Cat's urine. Caladium ciguinum. Caladium. 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 American arum. Headache and mental states of smokers. Itching rash alternate with asthma. Erection only when half asleep. Seizures when fully awake. This is very important in caladium. Caladium half erection only when half sleep. Seizes when fully awake. It means when the person is half sleep, there will be erection, but when he is not in a sleeping, then the erection will go. Dread from motion. Very forgetful, does not know about the occurrence of things. Stomach feels full of dry food, sensation of fluttering, acrid vomiting, thirstless, and tolerate only warm drinks. Stomach feel full of dry food. Sensation of fluttering. Calcarea arsenicosa. Arsenite. Calcarea ars. Epilepsy with rush of blood to the head before attack, aura felt in the region of the heart. Pancreatic disease relieves burning pain in cancer of pancreas. Hemoglobin in red corpuscles are low. HB and RBC is low. Nephritis with great sensitiveness in kidney region. Complaints of drunkards after abstaining. Complaints of drunkards after abstaining. Pain in head better by lying on painful side. Pain better by lying in painful side. Calcarea ars. Belching with saliva and beating of heart, constriction and pain in region of heart, suffocating feeling, palpitation, operation and throbbing and pain in the back extending to arm, calcareous and cactus. Removes inflammatory products in vein of lower extremities, weariness and lameness of lower limb. Calcarea car, that is important. Calcarea car. Carbonate of lime, calcarea carb, oysteranum. Sorry. This great Hahnemann antisoric is a constitution remedy par excellence. Its chief action is centered in the vegetative sphere. Impaired nutrition being the keynote of its action, the glands, skin, and bones being instrumental in the changes wrought. Incipient phthisis, arsioid and tuberculinum. Abscesses in deep muscle, polypi and exostosis, pituitary and thyroid dysfunction. Raised blood coagulability. It is definite stimulant to the periosteum. Is a hemostatic and gives this power probably to the gelatin injection. Children craves eggs and eat dirt. Children crave eggs and eat dirt and other indigestible things are prone to diarrhea. Apprehensive worse towards evening, fear loss of region, misfortune, contagious disease. 1 second अपने चश्मा ले लेता हूँ. Headache from overlifting, from mental exertion with nausea. Head feels hot and heavy with pale face, icy coldness in and on the head, especially right side. Itching on the scalp, scratches head on waking. Cataract, dimness of vision as if looking through a mist. Lacrimal fistula, scrofulous ophthalmia. Oh my god, so vast. Okay. Deafness from working in water, polypi which bleed easily, aversions to meat, boiled things. craving for indigestible things, aversions to meat, boiled things, craving for indigestible things, chalk, coal, pencils, also for eggs, salts, and sweets. Swelling over pit of stomach like a saucer, turned bottom up, repugnance to hot food, hyperchlorhydria, phosphorus. Cannot be a tight clothing around the waist. Cannot be a tight clothing around the waist. Increase of fat in abdomen. Here also Bovista. Bovista cannot be a tight clothing around the waist. Bovista. Increase of fat in abdomen. Umbilical hernia. Children are late in learning to walk. Children are late in learning to walk. Caution followed by weakness and irritability. Before menses, headache, colic, chilliness, and leukorrhea. Leukorrhea milky, leukorrhea milky sepia. Leukorrhea milky, that is sepia. Burning and itching of parts before and after menstruation in little girl. Hot swelling breast, breast tender and swollen before menses. Deficient lactation with distended breast in lymphatic women. Much sweat about external genitalia. Persistent irritating cough from arsenical wallpaper. Expectoration only during the day. Thick yellow sour mucus. Scanty salty expectoration. Palpitation at night and after eating. Palpitation with feeling of coldness with restless. Operation of chest. After suppressed eruption. Some disagreeable ideas always arouses from light slumber. Night terror, caliphos. Night terror. Dream of dead. Chill at 2 p.m. begins internally in stomach region. Small wound do not heal readily. Nittle rash better in cold air. Warts on face and hands. Relief of pain in head and nape of sneezing. Nape by sneezing. Impaired nutrition is a keynote of its action. Impaired nutrition. Chronic dilatation of pupils. Catarrhal symptoms with hunger. Coryza alternates with colic. Loss of appetite when overworked. Loss of appetite when overworked. Milk too abundant, disagreeable to child. Sterility with copious melses. Itching of pimples in whiskers. Cough when playing piano or eating. When pulsatilla fails in schoolgirls. Constipation, stool first hard, then pasty, then liquid. Incompatible brownia sulfur should not give after calcarea. This line is incomplete in third edition. Okay. Calcarea phosphate of lime. It is especially indicated in tardy dentition and troubles in incident of that period. Bone disease, non-union of fractured bone and the anemias after acute disease and chronic wasting disease. Headache worse near the region of sutures from change of weather of school children about puberty. Headache with abdominal flatulence. Infant wants to nurse all the time and vomit easily. Great hunger with thirst, flatulence, temporarily relieved in sore irritation. At every attempt to eat, colicky pain in abdomen, calcarea force. Diarrhea from juicy fruits or cedar during dentition. Soreness in sacroiliac symphysis as if broken. Anemic children who are peevish, flabby, have cold extremities and feeble digestion. Always wants to go somewhere. Diffuse opacity in cornea following abscess. Pain in region of kidneys when lifting or blowing the nose. During lactation with sexual excitement. Milk tastes salty. Prolapse in debilitated person. Always wants to go somewhere. Calcarea florica. A powerful tissue remedy for hard, stony glands. Powerful tissue remedy for hard, stony glands, varicose and enlarged veins and malnutrition of bones. Hard knots in female breast. Induration threatening suppuration. Many cases of cataract have undoubtedly been influenced favorably by it. Congenital syphilis manifesting itself in ulcerating of mouth and throat, rises and necrosis with boring pains and heat in parts. Blood, blood tumors on head of newborn infants. Hard exercence on the scalp, ulcer on the scalp with callous hard edges. Strumous keratosis, subcutaneous palpebral cyst. Unnatural looseness of teeth. With or without pain, teeth become loose in their socket. Toothache with pain if any food touches the tooth. Hypertrophy of Lashka tonsils. Hypertrophy of Lashka. Hypertrophy of LUSH Lashka tonsil. Weakness and dentiness of appetites, nausea and distress after eating in young children who are overtaxed by studies. Calcarea flow removes fibroid deposit about the endocardium and restores normal endocardial structure. Calcarea flow remove fibroid deposit about endocardium and restore normal endocardial structure. Chief remedy for vascular tumor with dilated blood vessels and for varicose or enlarged vein. Okay. Chronic lumbago aggravated on beginning to move and ameliorated on continued motion. Ganglia or insisted tumor at the back of the wrist. Ganglia or insisted tumor at the back of the wrist. Exostosis on fingers. Chronic synovitis of knee joint. Induration of stony hardness. Groundless fear of financial ruin. Groundless fear. Used after the operation, the tendency to adhesion is reduced. Acute indigestion from fatigue and brain fag, much flatulence. Diarrhea in gouty subjects. Dose 3rd to 12th trituration, calcareous sulf. The next remedy is calcareous sulf. Cystic tumor, fibroid. Suppurative process comes within the range of this remedy after pus has found on vent. Sees only one half object. Sees only one half of object. Okay. One-sided discharge from nose, suppurating stage of tonsillitis when abscess is discharging. Painful abscesses about the anus in cases of fistula. Painful abscess. Many little matterless pimples under the hair, bleeding when scratched. Cuts, wound, bruise, etc. Unhealthy discharging pus. They do not heal readily. Diarrhea after maple sugar and from change of weather. Diarrhea after maple sugar. Diarrhea. Dry eczema in children. Calendula officinalis. One second. Calendula marigold. A most remarkable healing agent applied locally, useful of open wounds, parts that will not heal, ulcer, etc. Promotes healthy granulation and rapid healing of first intention. Hemostasis after tooth extraction. Great disposition of take great dispositions to take cold, especially in damp weather. Calendula. Oh, great disposition to take cold, especially in damp weather. Paralysis after apoplexy has remarkable power to produce local exudation and helps to make accurate discharge, healthy and free. Lacerated scalp wound. Coryza in one nostril with much green discharge. Hunger immediately after nursing. Bulimia. Coryza in one nostril with much green discharge. Hunger immediately after nursing. Bulimia. Heartburn with horripilation. Cough with green expectoration. Hoarseness with distension of inguinal ring. Constitutional tendency to erysipelas. Deafness worse in damp surrounding with great eczematous condition. Hears best in train and distant sound. Cancer as an intercurrent remedy. Warts on os externum promotes favorable cicatrization with least movement of suppuration. Superficial burns and scars. Erysipelas used topically. Camphora, camphor. Picture a state of collapse, icy coldness of the whole body, sudden sinking of strength, pulse small and weak. Picture a state of collapse, icy coldness of whole abdomen, whole body, sudden sinking of strength, pulse small and weak after operation if temperature is subnormal, low blood pressure, 3 doses camphora 1x, 15 minutes interval. This condition is met with the cholera. Picture state collapse, icy coldness of the whole body, sudden sinking of strength, pulse small and weak after operation if temperature is subnormal, low blood pressure, 3 doses camphor 1x, 15 minutes interval. This condition is not in cholera, and here is that camphor has achieved classical fame. First stage of cold with chilliness and sneezing. Oh, first stage of cold with chilliness and sneezing. It is a characteristics of camphor that the patient will not be covered. Pain better while thinking of it. Vertigo, tendency to unconsciousness, feeling as if he would die. Occipital throbbing synchronous with the pulse. Persistent epistaxis, especially with goose flesh, state of skin. Cordy, priapism. Insomnia with cold limbs, camphor antidotes or modifies the action of nearly every vegetable medicine, tobacco, opium, worm medicine, etc. Hahnemann says the action of this substance is very puzzling and difficult of investigation, even in the healthy organism, because its primary action more frequently than with any other remedy alternate and becomes intermixed with the vital reaction after effects of the organism. Sensation as if all objects were too bright and glittering as a heart stimulant for emergency use. Cannabis indica, hashish, inhibits the higher faculties and stimulates the imagination to a remarkable degree without any marked stimulation of the lower or animal instinct, a condition of intense exhalation, exaltation, in which all perception and conception, all sensation and all emotions are exaggerated to utmost degree. Cannabis. Subconsciousness or dual nature state, apparently under the control of second self, but the original self prevent the performance of acts which are under domination of second self. Apparently the two nature cannot act independently, one acting one acting as a check upon the other. Effect of 1 dram doses by Albert produces the most remarkable hallucination and imagination, acceleration of the duration of time and extent of space being most characteristics. Conception of time, space and place is gone. Conception of time, place and place is gone. Extremely happy and contented, nothing troubles, ideas crowd upon each other. Has great soothing influence in many nervous disorder like epilepsy, mania, dementia, delirium tremens and irritable reflexes. Anxious, depression, constant fear of becoming insane. Mania must constantly move. Very forgetful cannot finish sentence. Uncontrollable laughter. Cannot realize her identity. Chronic vertigo as of floating off. Cannot realize her identity. Chronic vertigo as of floating off. Feels as if top of head were opening and suturing shut. Sorry. Feels as if top of head were opening and shutting, and as if clavicula were being lifted. This is very important symptom. Pani pilo. What is it? Cannabis sensation as the क्या था? Feel as if top of head were opening. Feels as if top of head were opening and shutting, as if calvarium were being lifted. Lifted. Involuntary shaking of head. Letters run together when reading. Sensation as if anus, as if sitting on a ball. Dysmenorrhea with sexual desire. Very sleepy but unable to do so. Obstinate and intractable form of insomnia. Migraine attack preceded by unusual excitement with loquacity. Headache with flatulence, very slow pulse. Cannabis sativa. Con- contraction of fingers after sprain, dislocation of patella on going up. Cannabis sativa, dislocation of patella on going upstairs. Dislocation, cannabis sativa, location of patella on going upstairs. Cannabis sativa, okay. Affection of ball of a foot and under part of toes. Lectophobia. Lectophobia. What is lectophobia? Lectophobia, an intense irrational dread and disturb daily life. But similar sounding like ludophobia, fear of snakes. An intense irrational dread and disturb daily life. Okay. Vertigo, sensation of dropping water on head. Vertigo, cannabis sativa. Vertigo, sensation as if dropping of water on head. Micturition in split stream. Stoppage of urethra by mucus and pus. Cataract from nervous disturbance. Abuse of alcohol and tobacco. Gonorrheal ophthalmia. Amenorrhea when physical power have become overtaxed, also with constipation. Cantharis, Cantharis Spanish fly. Cantharis, Spanish fly, Spanish fly. Okay. Gastric, hepatic, and abdominal complaints that are aggravated by drinking coffee. Okay. Gastric, hepatic, and abdominal aggravated by drinking coffee. Constantly attempts to do something but accomplishes nothing. Sudden loss of consciousness with red face. Sudden loss of consciousness with red face. Sensation as if wind were coming from ear or hot air. Throat burnt after taking too hot food. Pain in loins with incessant desire to urinate. Secondary eczema about scrotum and genitals following excessive perspiration. Sensation of boiling water in brain. Secondary eczema about scrotum and genitals following excessive perspiration. Sensation of boiling water in brain. Violent spasm reproduce by touching larynx. Gastric derangement of pregnancy. Pleurisy as soon as effusion taken place. Capsicum. Abstainers from accustomed alcoholics. It affects the mucous membrane producing a sensation of constriction. Mucous membrane. Mucous membrane में constriction. Inflammation of petrous bone. Burning pain and great general chilliness. Marked tendency to suppuration in every inflammatory process. Sore throat of smokers and drinkers. Much thirst but drinking causes shuddering. Ectropion of meatus. Ectropion of the meatus. Climacteric disturbance with burning of tip of tongue, the thyrus. Much flatulence generals in debility subject. Carbolicum acidum, phenol. Acts predominantly on CNS. Increased olfactory sensibility. Carbolic acid. Increase sensibility of olfactory. Very marked acuteness of smell is a strong guiding symptoms. Headache better by green tea while smoking. Painful flatulence often marked in one part of the bowel. Irritable bladder in old men with frequent urination at night of probable prostatic nature. Gnawing pain in shin bone. Carbo, carbo animalis. Animal charcoal. Causes local congestion without heat. Anxiety at night with orgasm of blood. Ulceration of lungs with feeling of coldness of chest. Hearing confused. Cannot tell direction of sound. टाइम क्या हुआ? 10 बजे तक मैं पढ़ूंगा. 10 minutes more I will read Mathematica. After that I will read repertory. एक ही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ पढ़ के फीलिंग मतलब बोर जैसा थोड़ा होने लगता है, तो उस वजह से मैं रेपर्टरी पढ़ूंगा 10 मिनट और 5 मिनट का 10 बज जाएगा तो 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लेके Virka, Virka on hand and face of old people with bluish color of extremities. The carbon group all has putrid discharge and exhalation. All act on the skin causing intertigo and excoriation. Weakness of nursing woman. Vertigo followed by nosebleed. Cancer of uterus with burning pain down the thighs. Painful induration of breast, especially night side, right side. Carbo veg. Vegetable charcoal. Carbo animal is animal charcoal. Carbo veg, vegetable charcoal. Disintegration and imperfect oxidation is the keynote of this remedy. Varicose vein of on nose. Varicose vein on nose. Varicose vein on nose. Okay. Blood oozing from gums when cleaning teeth. Faint, gone feeling in stomach, not relieving by eating. Distress comes on half hour after eating. Gastralgia of nursing women with excessive flatulence or rancid belching. Painful diarrhea of old people. White hemorrhoid excoriation of anus. Itching of moisture at night, thigh near scrotum. During menstruation, burning in hand and soles. Asthma in aged with blue skin. Perspiration on eating. Ailment accompanying intestinal fistula. Colic from riding in a carriage. Chill begins forearm. Complementary calicarb drosera. Cardus marianus. कार्डस मेरियानस इज़ अ बेस्ट रेमेडी फॉर लीवर कंप्लेंट. देखते हैं क्या क्या दिए हैं इसमें. कार्डस मेरियानस. सेंट मेरीज थिस्टल. सेंट मेरीज थिस्टल. Abuse of alcoholic beverage, especially beer. Dropsical condition depending on liver disease and when due to pelvic congestion and hepatic disease. Hemorrhages, especially connected to hepatic disease. Gallstone disease with enlarged liver. Cirrhosis with dropsy, eruption on lower part of sternum, disease of minors associated with asthma, eruption on lower part of the sternum, disease of minors associated with asthma, aversions to salt meat, profuse diarrhea due to rectal cancer, cardus, aversion to salt meat, disease of minors associated with profuse diarrhea due to rectal cancer, profuse diarrhea due to rectal cancer. Caulophyllum is the last remedy I am going to read. After that, I'll read. This is a woman's remedy. Dysmenorrhea when pains flying to other parts of the body. Causticum I will read tomorrow. This is the end. So I will read. So I will read. I'm going to read the repertory now. So, I'm going to read the repertory. Let's start repertory. Vision, double vision, one eye. Very important single remedy rubric. Vision, double vision. Vision, double, one eye, chamomilla. Ear, eye wax, blood red, conium. Face color alternating greenish around eyes, veratrum album. Face color alternating yellow spot, sepia. Face yellow saddle across upper part of the cheek, nose, sepia. Teeth black, Muxol, teeth grey, murk, teeth covered with mucus, iode, teeth covered with sword, mercor, teeth yellow coat, brownia, hunger and thirst, aversion to cheese, oleander, hunger and thirst, aversion to cocoa, os, hunger and thirst, aversion to unsweetened coffee, rheum, hunger and thirst, aversions to fruit, baryta carb, hunger and thirst, aversions to hot food, mercor, hunger and thirst, aversion to insipid food, rheum, hunger and thirst, aversion to onion and garlic, sabadilla, hunger and thirst, aversion to rich food, pulsatilla, Apollo Academy. Hunger and thirst, desire for cake, plumbum, hunger and thirst, desire for coal, cicuta, hunger and thirst, desire for farinaceous food, sabadilla, hunger and thirst, desire for fat and ham, mesarium. This is important. Many times I have read this. Hunger and thirst, desire for German rolls, aurum. Hunger and thirst, desire for indigestible things, calcarea fos. Even calcarea carb also. Hunger and thirst, desire for smoked meat, causticum. Hunger and thirst, desire for tobacco smoking, calcarea fos. Flatulence, flatus cold, conium. Flatus moist, carboveg. Flatulence, flatus cold, conium. Wow. Flatulence, flatus moist, carboveg. Stool like beaten eggs, nux mosquita. Stools as if chopped, sulfuric acid. Stool as if chopped. Stool like chopped spinach, argentum nitricum. Stool flattened pulse. Stool putty like murk. Stool slipping back again, Cilicia. Urine flesh colored, colocynth. Cough taste of the expectoration, garlicky, asafoetida. Cough taste of expectoration, moldy, borax. Cough taste of expectoration of tobacco juice, pulse. Sensation lifted up, sensation aconite. Sensation loose feeling in joints, stramonium. Sensation wooden sensation, glands air passing through, sensation of spongia. Spongia. Bones absence of marrow, sensation of lycopodium. Bones drawing as from a thread through shafts, brownia. Bones tearing, burning, skin burning as from flames, Skin eruption, goose flesh in the house, Calcarea carp. Skin eruption, goose flesh in open air, Sarsaparilla. Skin nails, scaling of murk. Skin spots like flea bites, aconite. Skin tetters, grey arse. Skin ulcer, pus, cheesy murk. Skin ulcer, pus like tallow murk. Skin warts, smooth, dull camera. Sleep dispositions to sleep, legs one stretched out and other drawn up. Sternum. Sleep, dreams of festivals, antium crude. Wow. Dreams of festival, antium crude. Dreams in intellectual, Ignatia. Dreams of illusions of hope, Ignatia. Circulation, blood vessel, stitches, murk. Fever, sweat acrid, rush. Sweat bitter, veratrum album. Sweat bloody, lycopodium. Sweat burnt, belladonna. Sweat of camphor, camphora. Sweat of elderberries, sepia. Sweat of honey, tuja. Sweat of rhubarb, rheum. Sweat spicy, rhododendron. Fever, sweat sulfurated hydrogen, sulfur. Sweat sulphurous, phos. Sweat sweetish sour, bryonia. Fever, chill, then heat, then chill, sulfur. Chill alternating with sweat, phosphorus. Fever, heat, then chill, then heat, stramonium. Fever, heat, then chill, then heat, then sweat, rus. Fever, heat, then sweat, then chill, caladium. This is very important, I have to read it again. Heat with sweat, then chilliness, sternum. Fever, shivering, then chilliness, then sweat. Fever, shivering, then chill, then sweat. Naxwamika. Aggravation bending, outward capsicum. Aggravation bending to right, spigelia. Aggravation food and drinks, eggs odor of colocynth. Aggravation food and drinks, farinaceous, sulfur. Aggravation food and drinks, honey, nitric, natrum carb. Aggravation food and drinks, iron cooked in sulfur. Food and drinks, lemonade, selenium. Food and drinks, meat, fresh causticum. Food and drinks, onion, tuja. Food and drinks, sour odors, drosera. Food and drinks, spices, phos. Food and drinks, thought of food she would like, sepia. Aggravation gargling, carboveg. Aggravation jumping, spigelia. Aggravation leaning after, colocynth. Aggravation leaning to one side, menianthus. Aggravation licking lips, valeriana. Looking straight forward, oleander. Aggravation looking over a large surface, sepia. Aggravation looking at something turning around, lycopodium. Aggravation moon, waning, dull camera. Aggravation moonlight, antium crude. Aggravation odor of wood, graphitis. Organ playing the lycopodium, pustules, malignant ars. putting out the tongue, aggravation putting out the tongue, cocculus, aggravation scratching on linen one noise of asarum europeum, aggravation desire suppression of conium, aggravation shaving carbo animalis, aggravation shooting borax, aggravation spectacles borax, aggravation walking bent over bryonia, aggravation walking on a level ranunculus bulbosus, aggravation sideways causticum crossing limbs, aggravation crossing amelioration crossing limbs sepia, amelioration crossing limbs sepia. Amelioration drawing in the affected parts sabina, amelioration food and drink fruit lachesis, amelioration food and drink salt maccarb, amelioration grasping spigelia, amelioration kneeling euphorbia, amelioration knitting lycopodium, amelioration leaning head to one side minianthus, amelioration licking with the tongue, amelioration looking downwards sabadilla, sabadilla, amelioration looking sideways oleander, sexual suppression caladium, amelioration sexual suppression caladium, amelioration sleep when falling asleep murk, amelioration sleep when half asleep selenium, amelioration sneezing magmure, amelioration stepping hard capsicum, amelioration sucking the tongue, amelioration talking ferrum, turning Latsepia. Full name of the book Sensation as a Repertory of Subjective Symptoms. Herbert A. Robert, MD. Chapter 27 Mind and Generals. Number of Medicine 742. Purit, Type Puritan, no philosophy. Similar to Kent's, it is alphabetical order. The homeopathic therapeutic of diarrhea, dysentery, cholera morbus, cholera infantum, and all those evacuation of bowels. Another author, James B. Bell. James B. Bell. इंटरमिटेंट फीवर विलियम इंटरमिटेंट फीवर ये पढ़ता हूँ इंटरमिटेंट फीवर बाय W.A. Allen William A. Allen MD published 1883 total number of remedies 133 clinical regional gradation bold italics Roman gradation bold italics and Roman fever by W.A. Allen. Cheel 1883 WLN 133 remedies bold italics and Roman chill heat sweat and apyrexia chill heat sweat and apyrexia therapeutic of intermittent fever by H.C. Allen. कैंट रेपर्टरी पढ़ूंगा भाई, वो सब फालतू का दिमाग खराब हो रहा है इसमें. Kent repertory abundant. See 4 second. Deserted isolation loneliness similar rubric. Okay. Abrupt suddenly act. Absent minded. Inattentions of mind preoccupied cross reference. Okay. Absorbed buried in thoughts reverbs cross reference. Absorbed buried in thoughts reveries. Abstraction of mind separated from the rest of the world. Abstraction of mind separated from the rest of the world. Abusive use insulting language. Admonition slight rebuke aggravation. Admonition slight rebuke aggravation. Affectation impressing artificial love. Affectation impressing artificial love. Antics play childish or foolish behavior. Antics play. Okay. Meaning of the antics play is childish or foolish behavior. Avarice, covetous, miserly, similar rubric. Bellowing, shouting in deep, loud voice. Bellowing, shouting in deep, loud voice. Bewildered, a state of mental confusion, perplexity, lack of power to distinguish with certainty. Brooding, dwell in unpleasant things for a long time. Buffoonery, buffoonery, and irrational, foolish behavior lacking in judgment. Irrational, foolish behavior lacking in judgment. Calmness, serene, tranquility, cross reference. Capriciousness, want something does not know what. Capriciousness, want something does not know what. Pitful, fickle, irresolute, similar rubric. Change his decision frequently. Capriciousness. Calumniate, to utter maliciously false statement, changes or imputations. Slander disposition, cross reference. Censorious, marked by criticism or fault finding nature. Censorious, marked by criticism or fault finding nature. Fault finder cross reference. Censorious, fault finder, marked by criticism or fault finding nature. Circum circumspections, lack of, does not take precautions to possible consequences. Indiscrimination, imprudence, cross reference. Clairvoyance, a power of perceive, a power clairvoyance, power to perceive matter beyond the range of ordinary perceptions. Introceptions, similar rubrics. Clairvoyance, a power to perceive matter beyond the range of ordinary perception. A power to perceive matter beyond the range of ordinary perception. Introception, similar rubrics. Dictatorial, dogmatic, domineering, similar rubrics. Dictatorial, dogmatic, domineering, similar rubrics. Coming. आ जाओ. बंद कर दो. Disgust, see loathing, irksome, ennui, similar rubrics. Eccentricity, changeable behavior. Ecstasy, person feel inordinately happy. Ecstasy, person feel inordinately happy, joyous without sufficient cause. Extravagance, great desire to spend money which may be unaffordable. I don't know. Extravagance, great desire to spend money. Extravagance, great desire to spend money which may be unaffordable. Frivolous, silly. Gaiety, cheerfulness, vivacious. Cross reference. Gaiety, cheerfulness, vivacious. Groaning, mourning. Cross reference. Gaiety, cheerfulness, vivacious. Cross reference. Grumbling, hatred, malicious, misanthropy, resentment, revengeful, vindictive, similar rubric. Imperious, always force their wives of sorry imperious of always force their views on others, haughty. Cross reference. Impertinence, insolent, rudeness, similar rubric. Impetus, do things abruptly in impulsive manner without any thought of consciousness. Hurry, to do things in haste without excitement. Impatience, restlessness, restless, similar rubric. Jesting, dispositions to joke even in serious condition. Facetious, witting, similar rubric. Lively, mirth, hilarity. Cross reference. Mania Portu, delirium tremens. Mania Portu, delirium. An alcoholic withdrawal symptom. An alcohol withdrawal symptom. Mania Portu, delirium tremens, and alcohol withdrawal syndrome. Delirium tremens. Meddlesome, interfere another's business. Morose, sullen, similar rubric. Occupational amelioration, excitement, entertainment. Pertinacity, persist or holding firmly even if others disagree. Petulant, peevish without reason. Irritability. Cross reference. Phlegmatic, indifference marked by slowness, indifference phlegmatic. Positiveness, obstinate. Pride, haughty, mortification. Prophesying, fort, foretelling future events. Reapproaches, scold severely. Resolute determination of face circumstances against all odds, courageous, cross reference.